Hello, hello. Welcome to Sparkle.Sanctuary. My name is Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a post-review video of yet another Diamond Art Club image that I have called Lady of the Lake by Sarah Moustafa. As you can kind of see, this image here is quite dark compared to the in-person or even video quality that you can see here. So that is something that the rendering team did really well. They brightened it up, but here is that image a little bit up close so you can see. It is a round-shaped diamond painting that is 56 by 74 centimeters, as you can see down here. But this is fan art from Sarah Moustafa for an animated series called Avatar: The Last Airbender. The character is Katara, and this is just from a scene. They were visiting a village, and the people believed in this spirit that would come and visit, and so she pretended to be the spirit to get the people to understand what they were following was wrong. I don't want to give any more information than that, and I may have even explained that horribly, so please just, if you are interested at all, watch the series. I actually really love it as an adult. It's a great series, you know, if you're into anime at all. Anyway, Katara is one of my favorite characters, and so I think it's great. She's a very strong, powerful character, and I love that about her. All right, so really fast before I fully show you the image, the diamond quality was okay. I will say that there were some trash bits in there that I had to pick through. I mean, it wasn't terribly large amount. As you can see, there's not a ton of trash here, but that is my trash drill where I ended up putting it all. There were some with holes in the top. There were little extra pieces. I had a couple like slivers of plastic, and so there were things that I had to pick through. But there was plenty in every shade. This one is about half full. That's the 310, so it's black. Here's 154. There's plenty. It's to about right there. So there's plenty in this one. So I didn't have any real complaints. I didn't feel like I was going to run out of any colors. And so, you know, that wasn't a problem. But I did, like I said, I had to pick through them. It came with 3 special diamonds. So there is a pale yellow, and they're all ABs. So this one, AB stands for Aurora Borealis. There is a, I don't know, like a iridescent coating on the top of those. And let me see if I can, here's a dark yellow. Get that. There you go. You can see the iridescent there a little bit more, even though it's not really focusing. And then there was this orange. And so what I did, and some of these, if you see, they're marked with a different label, and that is because I added some of my own special diamonds. So I'll kind of go over that with you now. I will say also really fast, the rendering, I had a few things about the rendering that I don't love. Overall, like her face is pretty good. I do think that it's big enough, so it should have come out really well. I think maybe the blending through here may be a little bit too light. And then I wish there had been a little bit more of a differentiation here at the bottom of her chin. But otherwise, I do like the way these, the paint on her face came out. I also had an issue, I'll move this aside a little bit, sorry. I also had an issue with the rendering down here. These blue speckles, even when you pull back, they're definitely very blue. And so I had considered swapping those out for like a bluey purple color, just because they pull too much from the background, if that makes sense. But I'll show you really fast. I did go in, there is this number, it's just labeled 444 in my stuff. I'm not sure why, but it is just a metallic diamond. I'm not sure why that's not focusing. I'm so sorry. But the yellow isn't what we're looking at. What we're looking at really is there's like a metallic coating on the top of that. And so that one I ended up putting in, there's this spot here. I ended up putting those there in replacement of this AB number 3. There are a few of the AB number 3s in the paint here on her face. And so, I don't know. I just wanted this to stand out a little bit differently. This one is from DP with Sparklers. It's called Coffee. As you can see, it's just a brown color. Coffee is replaced with the letter J everywhere. I found in the background stars, not in her. So there's this letter J in her face quite a bit, but it's also located in the background. And I just wanted to make the star sparkle and twinkle just a little bit differently. And then I did the same thing with this. It's just a silver crystal. I did that with the letter C. So they're also located in the background. And then I have this one, and there's only a few left, and it's called Champagne. And as you can see, it is just like pale yellowy, peachy color. It's a champagne color. And I replaced the letter H in the background. They were not exact matches in color. I wasn't looking for exact matches in color. I just wanted something to make the background sky pop a little bit where the stars were. And I think it has a really great effect. There's quite a few in here in this area. There's quite a few in this area. And then over here in this, and then also down here in the sparkles down here. It doesn't come across, I've tried looking through the viewfinder a few times, it doesn't come across very well in the viewfinder, but in person, when you are shifting the diamond painting, it makes that area just have this extra little dimension. So it's not like it gives it like a ton of extra sparkle, but it does give it some depth and makes it look more like a starry sky, if that makes sense. So I definitely wanted to pull that out. I will say there's ABs through here, and through a lot of this, like there's the dark yellow and the pale yellow, and then the pale yellow in the moon here. There's some in her hair here, and across the top of her hair here, across the top of her hair here, and then in her cheeks on these painted areas. I believe that they did that because it is paint and they wanted that to pop as a sparkle as the moon light reflected on her. I am not sure, sorry, the glare from my ring light is not helping, but I'm not sure how I feel about those specials being on the paint. If it wasn't paint, I definitely wouldn't have done it. I'm not a fan of putting special drills on faces unless it is for like a special paint kind of thing. And so I'm going to leave that alone. But again, I'm not sure that I love that. I don't dislike it though, so I left it. I do like it in the moon. I will say I like it in the moon shape on her face. But anyway, this is normal Diamond Art Club quality. There were a few, I don't think I had any, I didn't really have any symbols that I had any worries about. There were a couple that were a little dark to see, but I work on top of a light pad, so it's no issue. So that may be a concern if you need to use it. There's one, like a letter X, that you can't see because it's a black lettering on top of a dark color. But I was able, like I said, with the light pad to be able to see that very well. J, G, F, and H are all very similar colors. And so I definitely wanted to use my light pad to keep those to keep all of those separate. And I also work upside down. So I also keep an eye on symbols a lot more closely because I do work on half of this upside down. So like I said, a light pad really seemed to help. I didn't have any real issues with confusing any symbols. So the symbol quality to me was okay. I wish the drill field had just been a little bit tighter. I did have to go in with when I was using my multi-placer, I couldn't use more than 4 or 5 without finding that I had to shift the diamonds around just to kind of fill in the gaps, because when you did more than 4 or 5, it was like they were too close and there was just a little too much space, and then it didn't match the next symbol. So that's something to keep in mind if you use a multi-placer. I use a 12 placer, so I just kind of kept it more, like I said, to 4 or 5. The canvas quality is great. I've manipulated it and moved it. It's soft. I have no issues or concerns. It is very malleable, just like their normal Diamond Art Club quality. And the cover sheet on this was their normal quality as well. I use washi tape like I do around the border. I use it to section off and work through that, and I had no issues with that. So the only other thing is the confetti versus the amount of color blocking. I felt like this did not get boring to me. There was just enough of a mixture of color blocking and confetti. Confetti is when you have a lot of color changes, like these little nebulas, I would say had a lot of color changes in them, or like around her eyes, there was a lot of color changes. But for the most part, there was like this blue section here where I was able to use my multi-placer quite a bit. And even in her hair, like this is one color, this is one color, and it just kind of went like that. Her skin, and so in the background, they're definitely like, this is one color. So the background was quite dark, but I didn't get bored because there was enough color changes that I wasn't just working on one color that whole section. But yeah, I will say that there's quite a bit of color blocking. So like this, I mean, that's all, just with a few in between. So that's all color blocking. So yeah, if you like color blocking, like this section here, and over here, this is a great picture. But even if you don't like color blocking, I don't think it's too much color blocking to make it not worth working on, because there's just a variety of colors that shift, if that makes sense. So anyway, overall, Would I purchase this again? Absolutely. I am a huge fan of Katara, like I said before. I love the artwork, and Sarah Mustafa does great artwork. So I'm also a fan of Sarah Mustafa. So yeah, I would definitely purchase this again. If you are looking, if this is like one that you've had on your wish list, I'm sorry they don't sell it through Diamond Art Club anymore, but maybe they have it in D-Stash groups or things like that. I wouldn't pay a whole lot extra for this diamond painting though, unless you really truly love this image, just because there's so many diamond paintings out there and it may not be worth it. But anyway, that's all I have for today. Oh, let me turn her really fast just so you can kind of get more of a full image picture. Sorry. I'm going to see if I can get more of her in frame if I turn this. So yeah, I mean, it's still not all of her, but we're getting a majority of it so you can kind of see. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope that you are having a great week. Thanks for checking in and checking out my post review. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you want this image or you've done this image or just want to even just have questions, please leave those in the comment section below and I will answer them as quickly as I can. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Like I said, so wherever you go, to take care of yourself is a Sparkle Sanctuary. Please be sure to take time to take care of you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.